going on YouTube? FitnessKensho here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new to the channel, I do a lot of videos on workout routines, exercise tutorials, meal preps, and just helpful tips for beginners that are starting to get into the gym. So if you're into that type of information and that's something that you're looking for in your subscription, please be sure to hit that red subscribe button right here to be subscribed for future videos. With that being said, let's get started with this video. So today we're going to be talking about an exercise that is going to help you warm up to the deadlift. Now we can all agree that the deadlift is a movement that can be extremely dangerous if you don't warm up properly and if you don't stretch those muscles that are engaged when performing the actual movement. Now, a lot of times I've seen a lot of people get injured, obviously, because they round their back, so it has to do with proper form as well. But if you don't properly warm up those muscle groups, especially those three muscle groups in the three connective chains. So we're talking about our lower back, our glutes, and our hamstrings. Those are the main muscle groups for the deadlift, because when we come down, when we're pulling up, obviously when we're coming off the ground, we're getting help from our hamstrings, then comes our glutes, and then eventually our lower back is what pushes that weight. So what's the best exercise to actually properly warm up these muscle groups? A lot of people are going to probably judge me for this one. It is kind of like a CrossFit exercise, but a lot of more commercial gyms are starting to implement these type of equipment now, and it's the kettlebell swings. Now, the good thing about the kettlebell swing is that it kind of does it's kind of similar to a rack pull in my opinion, but a little bit more momentum. So it causes your body to actually come down right here, and obviously when you come down to this motion, it's kind of like, oh, you guys can't even see me. If I come down to this motion right here, it's kind of like I'm doing like a Romanian deadlift, and it's also pulling on my hamstring. So that's getting that stretch going. Same thing with the lower back. And then when I'm coming up, the lower back is being engaged. So if you properly want to warm up those three muscle groups, the kettlebell swing is going to be amazing for just properly warming up to get ready to do your conventional deadlifts. Now, how do you perform the kettlebell swings? There's a couple of tips that I want you guys to remember when doing kettlebell swings. Now, if you're feeling it on the shoulder, that means you are doing it wrong. You should not be feeling this on your shoulder. You should not be feeling this on your arm. It should be all momentum, and it should all be driven through the hips, because when we're doing our deadlifts, what's going to take more of the toe is going to be this area right here, your hip area, where you're pulling that bar up. So that's the same thing you want to implement when you're doing the kettlebell swing. So when you're coming down and the kettlebell is pretty much at the starting point, what you want to do is that you want to keep the chest upright, and you want to keep a slight arch in your lower back. And when you come down with the kettlebell, you want to just do a slight bend on your knee. So think of it as you're pulling something behind you between your legs. You're reaching for something down there. That's where the kettlebell's going. You're not doing a squat. You're not bending down forward like this, squatting with the kettlebell. You're literally just doing a bending down and letting the kettlebell go between your legs, and then coming back up, exploding through the hips. Now, when you're exploding through the hips, what you want to make sure is that you're pushing your hips in. So you want to make sure you're locking out right here, because that's going to help activate those glutes, and you want to activate your glutes because that's how you're going to properly warm up your glutes as well. Remember, when you're deadlifting, your hamstrings are engaged, glutes, and your lower back. So in order to get all three of those muscle groups, you have to push your hips in, just so you get the lower back engaged as well as the glutes, and the hamstrings are going to get the action when you come down, when you get that stretch. But that's pretty much a key point to remember when doing the kettlebell swings. An amazing warm-up exercise, in my opinion, when it comes to doing the deadlifts, because again, the deadlifts is one of those exercises that if you don't properly warm up, or if you don't practice good form, you're vulnerable to getting injured, and that's going to take some time off from you being in the gym. Means less gains, means you may lose a couple gains depending on how severe the injury is. So if you guys don't have a warm-up exercise for the deadlift, try that one out. I guarantee you that you will be ready and warmed up if you do like about 3 sets of 12 to 15 before you perform your actual heavy, before you perform your sets of your deadlifts, especially when you get to your heavy sets, all right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to drop a like on the video. Comment below if you have any questions regarding that exercise that I just covered right here, the kettlebell swings. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that red subscribe button to be subscribed to future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. If you have problems front squatting, if you're someone who has a real problem either keeping your chest upright or just loading the bar on your shoulders or doing an Olympic stance, this is a great movement because one, it's going to take away obviously the bar.